Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is kind of an impromptu surprise video because the patch notes for Titanfall 2 just went live on Respawn's website, or Titanfall 2 and Titanfall 1's website I should say, and I haven't even read them. So I thought I'd do an impressions of them as I go down the list, and what better way to do it than as an immediate surprise with no frame of reference whatsoever, guys. So let's just jump straight into it, no messing about. So this was posted by JFresh Respawn, who is the community manager. It was posted at 8 PM America time, which is a little bit later for me. And it says the following. So, new mode Frontier Defense, we already knew about that. Co-op 4-player, we knew that. Davis and Droz of the Last Resort faction will be guiding you through the waves. They are unique to Frontier Defense mode, and your earned merits will still apply to whatever multiplayer faction you have selected. So that must mean that Davis and Droz are faction specific for Frontier, but they don't affect the other multiplayer stuff. And you get merits for it, so that's awesome. Defend your harvester against 5 waves of increasingly difficult enemies. We all kind of knew that was going to happen. We didn't know specifically, but alas, there it is in writing. The Titan you pick at the start is locked for the rest of the match. Interesting. So they've done this intentionally to stop you swapping out to faster Titans or more specific Titans, depending on the situation. That makes a lot of sense, but it's going to take out some of the strategy, or indeed maybe layer some of the strategy even more so, because you have to make a hard read on what you're going to face. That could be interesting, that one. Earn cash for defeating enemies that you can spend in between waves to purchase tools at an armory. That sounds awesome. Sounds very, you know, like Gears inspired, and maybe there's a little bit of killing floor in there, or whatever mode they've seen that in, and they've liked it and they've added it here. That could be exciting. That could add a lot of depth. Can't wait to see what that is. Choose from the difficulties. We already know that one. Insane difficulty. We know about that. New Titan progression. We know about that. Right. So it's speaking now about the 5 maps, which makes me sad. So Blackwater Canal, it says, we are currently testing additional maps, we'll add more in the future, you fucking better, or I'm going to send you an angrily worded letter. Classic music option will unlock Titanfall 1's lobby music and Frontier Defense music. Interesting, you have to win 10 matches of Frontier Defense to access it. That's a cool thing, I guess. So new map is Rise. It says, long sight lines and tight quarters dictate the battle in this abandoned desert reservoir. The towering sheer walls and a system of convenient zip lines provide pilots with a means to get around quickly, while Titans do battle in the long corridors below. Pilots can also set up ambushes in the guts of this complex pipeworks, while Titans can lock down large sections of the battlefield at critical junctures. Tread carefully. That translates to, campy, 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 why the fuck did they pick Rise? Then we've got new live fire map, Township. A new modular construction of a residential firefight. Cover is sparse for pilots, bold enough to leave the safety of a few houses. Windows and rooftops decide who controls the map, but dense interiors can always hold surprises. That could be fun. And here we go. New content purchasable. Elite weapon war paints. Why this game doesn't have tacky looking gold guns, I will never know, because I want to run around like Mr. T, man. Exclusive to pilot weapons, these war paints grant the squad leader bonus. If you or any other player own one of these war paints, everyone on your team will be granted bonus XP. The effect doesn't stack, and you don't need to have war paint equipped to receive it. Additionally, owners of the war paints will have a 10% chance of receiving double XP tokens per owned weapon, up to 30% at the end of every match. They're selling camouflage that gets you double XP. That's kinda filthy. But, you know, if you want that, you pay for it, right? So I don't blame them. The prices are $5 each? Fucking hell. Really? Does it come with a free blowjob? $5? $25 for all of them. And the weapons are as follows. The G2, the Alternator, the B3 Wingman, the Archer, the Car, the R201, the Ava, and the Flatline. So if you like the Vault, you're fucked. Basically. That's not for me. I like the idea of double XP, but I'm tight. So somebody will like that, right? And then you have Titan War Paints, limited edition. Can only buy until the 28th of August. So these are one and done. If you don't get these, you're going to miss out forever. They're the same price! What the hell? Really? Grants bonus Aegis experience to you and your teammates at the completion of a Frontier Defense match when this skin is equipped. This boost will be increased by each team member that also has the Warpaint, and you can earn up to 4 times regular experience. Warpaint also includes an additional shoulder arm plate with a scaling iconography based on the hardest Frontier Defense difficulty completed with the Titan. Oh, that sounds cool! I want a pauldron that waves my e-penis, but I'm not paying $5. It can suck my e-penis. The Warpaint also grants a special call sign with scaling iconography base. Yeah, you said that. Interesting. But it's $25 and $5 each! God damn them. They're getting their money's worth, aren't they, the cheeky buggers? So, game improvements. Added more out-of-bound triggers to Complex? What does that even mean? That sounds like you can get out of bounds more often. Is that trying to stop those people that use grapple and go on the roof and like go over the top to stop them from being able to do that? Because that looks really cool, but it's also dirty as fuck. I don't really know. New stats page for maps, including tracking of Frontier Defense difficulty. That's cool. Visual improvement for weapons and Titan stats pages. That's definitely needed. It did look a bit basic and a bit boring. Titan balances. Here we go, guys. Ogre class Titans now have a baseline of 1 dash with a 10-second cooldown. This is hilarious. They think everybody knows what each Titan class is. But if you didn't play Titanfall 1, you're fucked. So, good luck. Turbo Engine will now reduce cooldown of Scorch and Legion's dashes to 5 seconds. It will still behave the same as before for other Titans. Okay, so they're making it so that both Scorch and Legion can be a little bit more mobile if you spec that way. I think that's a good change. It's interesting. They definitely needed something because they feel like you're moving a fridge. And they're meant to feel heavy and bulky because they're ogres. But it's still, like, when you're Scorch, sometimes you don't even, like, have you ever tried to chase a North Star as Scorch, and every time it shoots at you, it pushes you back? It feels really frustrating, so I'm hoping that this is going to elucidate some of that. And alleviate it, I should say, sorry. Overcore now gives 20% core meter. I don't remember what it gave before, so I'm not going to be a really good frame of reference here. So look at this, Electric Smoke unlocks at 20% instead of 25%. Why does the previous statistic not say what it was before? So dumb bastards like me who haven't kept up on the metas would know what that means. So you get Electric Smoke sooner. I think that's a good change. I like Electric Smoke. Electric Smoke is the easiest thing to spot, and all you do is jump off. And then you wait, and you jump back on, because the Titan can't see you. So you're not going to die unless he's mashing punch, and then you're probably going to die. So I think that's a good thing. Ooh, sword block damage reduction reduced by 5%. Ronin no longer has super god tier blocking. That was needed. A lot of people don't think there's anything wrong with sword block. I super thought they did. And I use Ronin. I've fallen in love with Ronin now that I've come away from Scorch a little bit. Like, I think that's a really fair thing to do. I wonder how it affects game. I'll have to see, but that sounds good to me. Here it goes, Scorch. Scorch will now have 1 dash charge with a 10-second cooldown, we knew that. Increased firewall's width. Interesting, that could be cool. Wildfire Launcher now increases direct hit damage of the Thermite Launcher. It still increases the amount of fire spread. That could be cool. Scorched Earth's Lingering Fire lasts longer. That was really needed, because it vanished before it had even fallen. It was really strange. Tempered Plating now makes Scorch immune to crits and his own Thermite damage. Wow! That is really good. That is probably the biggest one so far, that. Because the one thing that he kinda needed was the fire to not kill him so quickly, and that makes him completely immune? No crits as well. Scorch has probably the biggest crit sight on his entire body. That is incredible now. Wow. Fixed a bug with Flamecore not igniting the incendiary traps? Yeah, I spotted that one. So Scorch has been adapted a lot. I wonder how that will reflect in his gameplay. Legion. Legion will now have the same dashes as Scorch, it seems. And Hidden Compartment. Here we go. Power Shot has 2 charges and Power Shot's damage is reduced by 15%. Let's face it, guys, Power Shot was kind of bullshit. Depending on where the spread hit you, you would take full damage. It doesn't matter if you were hit by a whisper of a pellet or direct center. It all kind of spread the same damage, so you could do incredible amounts of damage with him. And if you were playing Legion correctly, all you were doing is that. You would never use him for anything else, really, because the Hidden Compartment was so good. So that seems like it's definitely going to make him a little bit still viable, but nowhere near as bullshit with that move. And then we have Monarch. One that people have definitely been bitching about. So the Exo's base magazine size has increased to 40 rounds. They've reduced the strength of the slow effect of energy siphon. Slightly reduced effectiveness of arc rounds against vortex shields and heat shields. That was needed, that was crazy. Multi-target missile no longer locks onto cloaked targets. I didn't realise it did. I haven't really played too much of the Monarch, but they seem really interesting. That's a lot of touches. I wonder how it'll reflect in the game. So here's the general pilot balance. Aim assist settings have been modified for assault rifles and SMGs. I wonder what they've done. This is a really strong point because a lot of people have been bitching about assault rifles and saying that they break the game because they're too overpowered. The assault rifles are not overpowered, guys. It's the aim assist. When you aim down sights with some of these weapons, it is literally the computer doing all the work. You're not even doing anything. In fact, if you try to do something, you will hinder your aim because the aim is so strong. And then we've got ARs and SMGs require you to be aiming closer to your target before any ADS assist takes effect. Interesting. Wow. This is really interesting. You have to be accurate before your accuracy gets a bonus. That seems like a really interesting tweak. I wonder if this is going to hit some players really hard, because let's face it, like 90% of the people that play this game can't fucking aim, and I'm one of them. Reduce the overall effectiveness of ADS assist for assault rifles. See, that's a massive change as well. It makes me wonder how any of this will affect PC, because on PC, when you use mouse and keyboard, all of this shit's turned off anyway. But it'll help because the the controller players won't have all the bullshit anymore, so it might make PC a little bit less annoying on that front. And then they've put Titan Hunter Kit modified to be 10 times extra Titan meter from damaging instead of 10 times Titan meter on Titan kill. That's cool, because now you don't have to get the final hit, now you can just attack and it'll build. That seems like a really interesting tweak, I like that. Phase Shift now has one charge but recharges faster. Perfect, you fixed it. Phase Shift is still broken and still probably the most powerful tactical you can use, but it's way fairer now. They can't do that garbage where they go into it and the moment they come out they go back in because they know they're losing. So that's definitely a good change, I like that. SMGs. Medium and long range damage significantly reduced. Ooh, interesting. Now this is going to be weird, because let's face it, the car is incredible at range. So was the Vault until they killed that. The Alternator's the same. The Alternator was incredible at range. Damn, the R97 with all the new buffs is ridiculous at range. I wonder how that's going to affect the game. Will that mean that now people will have to make an active choice not to engage, and they'll have to use an assault rifle instead? This could be a really good change, or this could fuck up everybody. This is going to be an interesting one to try. One of the positive changes we saw in High Time to Kill playlist was the increase of weapon diversity. It is our hope that between the aim assist nerf and this SMG nerf, we will see more weapon diversity. See, that's an interesting point, isn't it? Like, now that they've made guns kind of fit into their own areas, maybe you'll see more uses rather than just the same stuff. Because on console, all you see is the R201. It's the R201 every lobby, and then when you get somebody that moves on the walls and stuff, they use the alternator. It's kind of nuts. The G2 got reduced fire rate, which I'm curious to see what that is. I hope this patch is live. I can't wait to go on and test some of this. DMR, reduced fire rate. In this particular instance, we felt that the reduced fire rate simply made the gun feel better, since the gun stabilizes between shots. Oh, that's cool then. Here we go. Flatline. Slightly reduced damage at medium range. It still has the best medium range damage of any assault rifle. Well, that's good because that's where it's supposed to perform, right? I get killed by that gun all the fucking time. They don't get the same recoil I do and they just melt me. It's really frustrating. Archer no longer locks onto cloaked targets. Once again, I didn't even know it did. Smart Pistol no longer locks onto cloaked targets. So that's a hard counter to Smart Pistol. High Time to Kill playlist changes for the P2016, Wingman, Wingman Elite and Mozambique have been brought over to bring their power level down, that all pilots can carry a secondary weapon. Have been brought over to bring their power level down? Does that mean they've adjusted the damage? Have they made the guns... Oh, don't make the guns weaker, guys. Those guns were fine. You never saw the fucking things. You know, oh, I hope that doesn't mean they made them weaker. I really hope that's true. So the melee, now this will be interesting. Lunge time and melee hit frames changed to 0.3 seconds from 0.2. This helps people firing weapons, particularly automatic weapons, get extra shots in before the lunge completes. So they've modified it by a second. A second online is quite a long time, but so is the shitty tick rate, and you're still going to lose a lot of those moments. Melee lunge reduced, fantastic. Non-lunge melee attack range increased. See, that's great, because when you do those melees where you don't even do any lunge, they feel fine, because you have to space them. I think all melees should be like that, where you literally have to space it, and if you fuck it up, it doesn't work. Look at Titanfall 1. You did the slowest kick on the planet. He did like a weird side, like jumping side kick, and it always missed, unless you were behind somebody. And then you probably execute them anyway. But I think this is a good change. This will help with the cases where melee looks like it should hit, but doesn't. I had one of those happen on my live commentary recently, where I went to punch a guy, and because he started stepping forward, I got no lunge at all, and I just stood there like an idiot. Various improvements to the UI for private match, including increased visibility of text chat on PC. See, that's just an overall good improvement, right? And then we have miscellaneous bugs, and then this is it, guys. So they fixed an issue with purchasable nose arts not showing up correctly on Titans. Spectators in Marked for Death can no longer be marked for death. And the Xbox One button and pod doors in Wargames intro sequence now... Oh, interesting. If you don't know, Wargames on Xbox One, when you boot in at the beginning, the audio is 1,000,000 times higher than it was ever meant to be. So they fixed the audio volume. That's really good. And then Titan nose arts flagged as advocate gifts unlock may now actually be awarded when opening advocate gifts. So this is another one where if you didn't realise, when you open your advocate gifts, you almost never got those, and it turns out they might not have turned them on, so now they've made sure that that works. But all in all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Respawn, because if you remember at the beginning of the game, they wanted people to feel the patch notes, because they didn't want people to judge them prematurely based on mechanics and numbers and statistics. So they went a really weird way, and I disagreed with it immensely, because I like to know all the detailed minutiae of the game. They've gone against that now, and they're giving us patch notes, and even though they're not as detailed as I would like, they're still detailed enough to give us an idea of what's happening and what is changing. And overall, I think it is profoundly positive, the changes, but I have yet to play, and when I do play, that's when we really figure out what all of this means. But just looking at it, all of the Titans I think that needed a bit of a tweak have had a tweak. All of the things that were bugging me in the multiplayer have been slightly adjusted. It'd be nice to see how it works, and hopefully it's just going to make it a better and more enjoyable game. But what do you think, guys? Thank you for watching. You take care now.